Okay, guys, so we're at 10.7 honors and 8.7 math 7, all right? So today we're looking at describing cross sections. So it says, how can you describe the cross sections of a right rectangular prism? Okay, so first I did some vocabulary here and I defined it. So if you need to, pause this right now and write down this different vocabulary that's up here. Cross section, just so you know, and I brought out some three-dimensional shapes here. A cross section, like if I have this cube, right, what they want to know is if I cut this in half this way or this way, what shape is it going to expose? In other words, when I open it up, what shape would it expose? In this one, it would expose a square. Okay? If I were to do a square pyramid, if I cut it down this way, it would expose a triangle. And so you have to actually really visualize this stuff when you do it, okay? So this is what they're saying. The cross section is the two-dimensional shape that is exposed when a slice is made through a three-dimensional object. Now there's also some vocabulary here I want to make sure that you guys understood, just in case you had forgotten some of it. Isosceles triangle is two sides are the same length. If you notice, when I drew this, and I'll draw this a little bit bigger, so you can actually signify this by going like this, and if I put this like this, see how there's a line through each one? Just one line, and then this right here, this means that these two sides are the same shape, and this one is a different shape, okay? So sometimes if they're not to scale, or if you're drawing freehand like I am, this makes it a lot easier for you guys to understand, okay? So if I have, that was the isosceles triangle. An equilateral triangle means all three sides are the same length. And you can see over here, I put a line through each one to signify that all three were the same length. And then a scalene triangle, all three sides are different lengths. And you can see here, I did a right triangle, and I put a one through this one, two slashes through this side, through this leg, and then three slashes through the hypotenuse, because it would be three different lengths. Okay, guys? All right, so let's move forward. This one shouldn't be too long for this lesson. We'll see how we go here. This is example 3 off of this, okay? So I know this is hard to see, and I just showed you with this shape what they're talking about, okay? They're saying area of a cross section of a pyramid. In other words, if we went through and we sliced this pyramid, this three-dimensional pyramid, we would expose a triangle. And they're saying that the triangle would be these measurements. So what we have to understand is that the area of a triangle, so I put area A triangle, equals the base multiplied by the height divided by 2. In other words, I would say that the area of this triangle is equal to the base, which is 7, multiplied by the height, which is 4, divided by 2. And then we would say, since this is the area, right, that this is 14 inches squared. Because we're measuring in inches here, and because it's the area, the entire amount within here, it's inches squared. That also means that it's the area, guys, because it's two-dimensional. That's why we put it as squared. It is two-dimensional. And I know a lot of you have gotten used to writing square inches. Make sure that you do it this way. This is the way that we do it in math. Inches with the 2 up above, which is squared. Okay, guys? All right, now we have this other one, which is XL6. Now this one can be confusing because they give you some extra information that you don't need. So in other words, it says a piece of wood measuring 27 by 18 by 1 5/10 inches cut into 3-inch squares, making 54 blocks. Okay? Now what we have to understand here is the 54 blocks we don't necessarily need. Okay? We just want to pay attention to the fact that they said 3-inch squares. Okay? So in other words, it would be 3-inch by 3-inch, right? A square, right? And then the fact that this is only 1.5 inches thick. So when I did this, I had to put that this side, this thickness, is only going to be 1.5 inches. So it's a total visualization here. You have to understand that it's 3 by 3 by 1.5, okay? Now, what they want to do is we need to find the area of each one of these pieces, all right? So in other words, I took them out and I put them over here. So see how this is 3 by 3? That means it's 3 by 3. That's the front face, right? If we sliced it down this way, okay, in other words, if I slice this way, it would expose this square, which is 3 by 3. That means the area of that slice, that cross section, would be 9 inches squared. So 3 times 3, which is 9, and then inches squared. With this one here, it would be as if we were cutting it this way, to the side, okay? This way. And that we'd have to realize that this thickness is only 1.5 inches. So in other words, the cross section would end up measuring 3 inches by 1.5 inches. And so when we found out the area of this, it would be 4.5 inches squared. Okay, because these are all going to be length times width. In other words, 3 multiplied by 1.5 is going to equal 4.5. 3 multiplied by 3 equals 9. Okay, guys? So make sure that you get rid of the information you don't need in this one, and then go through and solve it. All right, guys? Ask questions if you don't understand when you get into class. Otherwise, that's it.